guys, welcome back to my channel and to a brand new sewing video. It has actually been a month. Yeah, a month since I last filmed anything, actually. I was on holiday for a couple weeks, but I'm back now and I'm really excited and really looking forward to sewing something. Yesterday I actually ordered a bunch of fabric and materials for a really exciting project that's coming up soon, but until then I thought I would just kind of ease myself back into things by doing something a little bit simpler, and I am still in the middle of my blouse hunt. You may remember a while back I set out to replace all of my synthetic polyester stinky blouses with new ones made out of more natural materials. I do actually have a blouse pattern in my collection that I haven't used yet. I have used this pattern a lot, actually. I've used this pattern several times in videos as well. The Simplicity Mrs. Vintage Pants Overalls and Blouses pattern. I have made both the trousers twice and the overalls. Love them, absolutely love them. I'm pretty sure this is actually one of my most used patterns, but it also comes with a blouse. It's a 1940s pattern, both the trousers and the blouse, and I'm just really excited to see what this will look like. It's kind of hard to tell on the image because she's wearing the overalls over it, but it looks like a very nice blouse. So I was looking at the fabrics that I bought to make my blouses with. I got a bunch of different viscose fabrics, but then I kind of thought this maybe needs a little bit more of an exciting fabric. And then I realized that I have a bunch of fabric left over from when I made this. My 1960s Mary Quant style dress out of a free pattern from the V&A Museum. Absolutely love this project. I love wearing it. It's one of my favorite dresses. But there is one thing about it, like the colors are a bit autumnal to me. But this dress is very short, obviously it's a 60s mini dress, and the material is pretty thin, so it's much more suitable to be worn in early summer, maybe late summer. And I thought if I were to make a blouse out of this material, which it already kind of is a blouse, honestly, with the cuffs and the little collar, I could probably get much more wear out of it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I have plenty of that fabric left to make another blouse with, and I think I want to do the same thing with the contrasting collar and cuffs. It's time to just go ahead, cut this out of my fabric, and we'll just see what we end up with. I can always go in and make alterations later, but I think we'll be fine. I think it's gonna be good. So let's get started. I've cut out all my pattern pieces, I've transferred all my pattern markings, and now it's time to start working on the pretty large amount of pleats and tucks and things that are actually in this pattern. I wasn't exactly expecting that, but there is a lot of that stuff going on here. You can see here's the pattern for the front. It has a tuck right here. Then the back is gonna probably have like a tuck down the entire center back. Again, on the bottom of the pattern here, you can see here's a tuck and then it's a giant pleat. This is cut on the fold, so it's really a big one. And another one on the top. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put those into my pattern pieces, and then we'll see what it starts to look like. But I do think it's necessary because these pieces are quite wide now and I know this is quite an oversized pattern. Yeah, it feels a little too oversized at the moment, so I hope that this will narrow it down a little bit, at least around the waist area. I am really glad that I get to use this fabric again. I really like it. Let's make some tucks. I have my tuck in the front, and now for the back one I do the same thing, so 2 of those small tucks on the sides and then 1 giant pleat in the center, and then we'll see what that looks like from the outside. I can't really imagine what it's gonna do. I've never done something like this before, but we'll just see. Okay, tucks are in, and now for the pleat I'm supposed to bring these 2 lines together again. So that would be this one, and where's the other one? Did I forget to transfer marking? Oh, that's great. Wait. There we go. Let's do it. See what happens. A few updates. I have attached the front panels to the back. At the shoulders, just at the shoulders. I've done some top stitching along this pleats in the back here, so right up top, and along the shoulder seams as well. And I have assembled the collar. Here we go, the 2 pieces of the collar. So next up I need to attach the collar to the garments. Yeah, we're actually progressing really quickly and it looks great so far. I'm really excited to see how this will come out in the end. I think it's gonna be a very round blouse just because there are lots of pleats and tucks and things. I also have gathering here at the front shoulder seam, so it's going to be gathered here and then pleated or tucked down at the bottom, and just, yeah, it's probably going to be quite round, so we'll see how flattering that is once it's done. But for now, just gonna go ahead and keep going, attach this collar, and after that probably facing. I think this is gonna be self-faced, looking at the shape of this neckline. It's probably gonna be folded in like this. Like this, yeah, probably like this. There we go. Self-facing. All right, collar first. The collar is on, and now it's time to do the facing. And I mentioned just now how this has kind of self-facing on the edges. It actually has a really interesting method of doing the facing, because I have a little bit of back facing here, and I'm now supposed to use that to attach these 2 facings together, like the 2 sides of the self-facing. And then once it's done, it's gonna sit like this on the inside. A really interesting way of doing this. I've never seen this before, but yeah, makes sense, seems to work. So just gonna go ahead and attach this, and that should probably hide the inside of the collar nicely as well. It's a new day, but I managed to finish the facing and the collar completely. I had to redo attaching the facing several times because it is along a curved seam and I ended up catching either the facing or the outside garment fabric into the seam at some point, several points actually. So I think I did it about 3 times, but it's in, and it looks great. I really like this way of doing the facing. It looks very clean from the outside and it was really simple to do actually. I also did understitching. I love when patterns, this is one of the things I love most about using a ready-made sewing pattern, is that it tells me when to do these little finishing touches, because I always forget about those when I'm sewing my own garments. I need to be told, this is when you do understitching, this is when you do edge finishing. I just forget. So now my facing is nicely understitched and edge finished, so we're all good. Next step is to finally sew shut the side seams, and by then I will finally have a bit of a better idea of the fit of this garment. That's really exciting. So I'm gonna go ahead, close that up, and then the next step is to start working on the sleeves. Another step finished, sleeves are in. Gosh, I really don't enjoy setting sleeves, but it's done. They are here, looking good. So I think we're actually almost ready. All there's left to do now is to hem the bottom of this and attaching the buttons and making the buttonholes. So I actually, once again, didn't really consider buttons when I thought out this project, but I do still have that entire pouch of pink buttons. So I just have to look for some that are similar enough, and I'm sure this should work. So yeah, let's start with the hemming first. It has a nice rounded hem at the side here with a little slit, which is really cute. I think it's turning out great so far, so really can't wait to see how this will look all finished. I think I have 2 button choices. I want to keep my buttons fairly simple. It's already a pretty overwhelming pattern. I don't want to do, you know, too much in terms of the buttons. So I have these pretty basic pink ones. And I also have these like brown neutral ones that are slightly bigger. I think I'm personally leaning more towards the brown. I feel like they look a little bit more sophisticated, and maybe the pink is just a bit too much combined with the already busy print as well. So probably gonna go for these brown ones. I'm just a little worried that they might be a bit boring. The only thing is I do have to find 2 smaller ones that will match this to go on the cuffs. I do have small pink ones, but not brown. Maybe I'll do pink buttons on the cuffs, or is that weird? I do actually like that. Just have a pink button on the cuffs and then the brown ones here. I do think it's unconventional, to do 2 types of buttons, but I'll just look through my stash. I have my little bag of buttons here, see if I have anything that will match this in a smaller size, and if not, I'll just go ahead and go with the pink. Alrighty, here we have the finished blouse, and I absolutely love it. This is exactly what I hoped it would come out as. It's not nearly as round as I had feared. It is actually weirdly kind of narrower in the waist and just round on top. I always tend to associate 40s fashion with 80s fashion a lot. It has a lot of similar elements to it, and the 80s really are not my favorite era of fashion. I really like this blouse. The instructions do tell you to put in some shoulder pads, and I didn't put any in because I like a slightly more modern look, even though this is a vintage inspired pattern. But when I do try it with shoulder pads, I have some here. Let me just quickly. It does actually work with the style really well. It does look like shoulder pads, and I don't personally really like having very pronounced shoulders. But if that is your vibe, then in this pattern works fantastically, and it does give the whole thing a lot of shape. Another thing which I actually surprisingly end up loving is this back pleat. It does make for a bit of a baggy back, but it gives so much range of motion. Like I can completely slouch over and it's fine. Usually you can't do that in blouses. They tend to be a bit more restrictive. This one, so much room in the back here. Absolutely love that. It's gonna be so comfortable to wear this blouse. Yeah, and I like how it kind of comes in, tucks in at the waist because of these darts tucks that we made on the front and the back. I also really like the rounded side. There are a lot of cute details in this blouse that I really like. I am glad that I went with the contrasting color, even though with the self-facing it looks, I don't know, maybe I would have preferred if this was white as well, but yeah, it's self-facing, so that wouldn't really have been possible, or I would have had to do more sewing there. But all in all, I'm glad I chose these buttons that I did. I think they kind of disappear into the look, and that is good, I think. I'm sure this is going to be an item that I wear a lot. It's going to go straight into my closet. I really like it. I can see myself wearing this with all different kinds of bottoms. I think it could be really cute with a black skirt for autumn. And it was also surprisingly easy to sew. Blouses are always a little bit of a more complicated thing to sew, and this one had lots of little quirky details to it, like the ruffling on the shoulder and everything, but the instructions walk you through it. One more look at the whole thing. I definitely love it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Lots of exciting projects coming up. My fabric is being delivered today and I can't wait to see it. So if you want to stay updated on everything I'm doing in the future, then be sure to subscribe to my channel and be updated on all of that. Don't forget to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. If you would like to support me through Patreon, there's a link in the description box below. Thank you so much for your support. There is another video here that I think you might also enjoy. You can go watch next. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you very soon in my next video.